We live in an age where billionaires go to space and millions struggle to pay rent on Earth. Every generation promises that the next one will have it easier. But somehow survival, the oldest human story, keeps getting harder to afford. So, how did we get here? How did survival, something so basic, turn into a full-time competition? Let's take a journey from the 1980s to today, across 5 decades of hope, hustle, and heartbreak, to see how the dream of a better life keeps slipping further away. In the 1980s, survival meant work. Real work, hands in the soil, sweat on the brow, and hours that paid the bills barely. A single adult in Seattle could survive on about $19,000 a year. The rich were rich, sure, but the gap didn't feel endless. Most people believed that hard work would pay off. It was simple. Time equaled money. You worked, you survived. That was the deal. The world was about to change that deal. Then came globalization, and with it, opportunity. Call centers opened. Multinationals arrived. Degrees became passports to better lives. For the first time, millions saw a ladder. But here's the catch. The ladder didn't have equal rungs. The middle class grew, yes, but the poor still carried the world's weight, now under a new name: development. Still, survival had a new scent: hope. But the system was shifting, slowly, invisibly, from rewarding hard work to rewarding access. Information became the great equalizer, or so we thought. For those who could afford computers, education, and Wi-Fi, the world opened up. For everyone else, it became harder to keep up. It was the dawn of hustle culture. Everyone was busy. Everyone was building something. That's almost twice as expensive as 2 decades earlier. Meanwhile, the top 10% now owned over 63% of the wealth, while the bottom half owned just 3%. The ladders to success were real, but the ground beneath them was shaking. Then came the social media decade, the 2010s, a time when being seen became as valuable as being skilled. Followers replaced friendships, startups replaced stability, and going viral replaced getting promoted. The world told us, if you're not growing, you're disappearing. But behind the filtered photos and motivational quotes, people were burning out quietly. By 2015, surviving in Seattle cost about $44,000 a year. But the median salary is barely caught up. The top 10% now held around 68% of America's wealth. The middle class? Shrinking. The rest? Drowning, not in water, but in rent, debt, and endless comparison. Survival now meant staying visible, not just working hard, but being relevant, always. And here we are, the 2020s AI writes code. Robots deliver groceries. Stocks and crypto make people rich overnight, while millions can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment. Seattle, home to some of the richest companies on the planet, now costs about $64,000 a year just to survive for a single adult. The top 10% control over 70% of the wealth. The bottom 50%? Still under 2%. Technology made more millionaires than any era before, but also more people living paycheck to paycheck. The rich learned to multiply wealth through ownership, while the rest rent everything: homes, cars, even time. Yet somehow, we still show up. We adapt. We survive. From dirt roads to digital clouds, the human story hasn't changed, only its tools have. Every decade promised freedom, but survival keeps reinventing its price tag. Still we endure, we rebuild, help each other stand. Because maybe true progress isn't about escaping the struggle, but learning how to survive it together. Survival has never been equal, but it has always been human.